Welcome to this short tutorial on the 4 main mistakes to avoid in beekeeping. I guarantee keeping your eye on these issues as they show up in your colonies will make the difference between success and failure with your beekeeping. And why are we so passionate about your success? Because it means better conditions and success for the bees. If you want to improve your beekeeping skills and solve problems, you've come to the right place. So sit back and enjoy this tutorial. What are the biggest problems beekeepers face in keeping bees alive and healthy? Simple. The big four. They're bee nutrition, queen status, swarm behavior, and mite and disease control. Sounds straightforward, yes? Knowing much about any one of them puts you heads above the regular beekeepers that experience huge bee colony losses every winter. Knowing how to manage all of them puts you in the pro category, where every spring will be a breath of fresh air and a ton of flying bees, with huge honey harvests as well. Beekeeping is all about agility, the concept of moving to meet your circumstances. Sometimes the circumstances change abruptly, and sometimes it's a subtle change of direction that nudges but doesn't pull you under. Each has its challenges. One requires the reactive reflexes of a cat, the other more discernment. It also requires discipline and avoiding the escalation of commitment syndrome, or that stuck in a rut condition, which a lot of beekeepers seem to embrace, not able to accept or adapt to new information or processes. So let's dig in. Mistake number 4, not knowing your local food resources. The spring minor flow comes early where I am, but some years not early enough to avoid spring colony feeding of dry sugar, what's called the mountain camp method. When the nectar flow does come, brood chambers can get plugged with pollen and nectar. With that comes huge population explosions, turning all that pollen into new bees. Huge populations of bees mean they go through the nectar from that flow quickly, and then once it stops, well, you're in a post-flow dearth. If you get behind on feeding your bees, it gets ugly. Bees will get hangry. If you don't super early, you'll miss getting enough in the boxes to keep them until the major flow comes. Where I am, it's blackberry in June. If your colonies come out of winter lagging a little, you'll miss it. If you don't watch the forage carefully and just do what you normally do when you normally do it, well, yup, you'll miss it. So this is the forage portion of our dashboard tool, which is in our step 7 of the Bee Bootcamp Roadmap program. This local forage chart is also one of our free content tools you can get by signing up for our newsletters and email information groups. Knowing when the feed is plentiful and when it's scarce is the biggest skill set a beginner can develop. It tells you when to feed and when to take off excess so the bees will stay in their boxes. The red zones are the times when the forage in our area is not sufficient to support the bees, and I need to pay attention to getting them resources so they don't starve. So solution number 4, know your dearth zones and feed accordingly, which is in our step 5 of the roadmap program. Mistake number 3, not knowing your queen status. Queenlessness and its sister issue, swarm behavior, are 2 of the most detrimental conditions you can come up against, for a couple of reasons. First, for queen loss, there's just no way to fix it without eggs. No queen, no eggs. If you don't have a second colony to use as a donor, well, you're stuck buying in a queen. That's always a challenge, not only finding a source for quality queens, but getting her delivered in good condition is a whole other challenge. Most beginners can't figure it out, and I get it. The queen is hard to find in a box full of worker bees, so understanding your queen condition is daunting. But ignoring it will only create a condition where your workers will all turn into egg layers. But all they can lay is drones, and all your comb will be destroyed by drone brood in short order. So identifying it as early as possible is the best option you have for saving the bees that are left and getting them redistributed to another unit before they go rogue. So solution number 3, queen assessment and intervention techniques. They're all in step 8 of our roadmap program, the Queen Production Guide System. So what's mistake number 2? Not controlling colony strength. On the other side of that very same street of queenlessness is the swarm condition, where multiple queens are emerging in a hive, creating secondary swarms and dwindling of the colony to its eventual demise. Knowing how to recognize the situation early can go a long way to keeping your bees in the boxes. Populations expand quickly. It's what they do. Making more bees so they can split their colonies in two and swarm is how they reproduce. The trick to keeping them where you put them is being able to anticipate when they have enough bees and resources to leave. One way to combat that challenge is making sure they never have enough of either to be able to make that decision. So take their resources and they'll never have the confidence they can leave. Taking excess bees early ensures that they'll never have enough resources in the first place. So solution number 2, pulling frames of brood, bees, and honey to reduce the swarm impulse. Roadmap step 6 in our program, our template on how to do thorough inspections. So, drum roll please. The number one problem that beekeepers struggle with is the always present Varroa mite. We cover the mighty mite fight in step 9 of our roadmap and in our complimentary blog post dedicated to the mites and how to deal with them. Both of those links are in the video description and the blog article. So for more key pieces to that puzzle, keep reading. As always, know that we're here at the Road to Better Beekeeping, and we're vested in your success path. I developed this membership educational platform specializing in beekeeping mentoring, coaching, workshops, and coursework due to the overwhelming confusion I saw with beekeepers, especially new ones trying to wade through the myriad of resources online and in social media. To facilitate learning, we support our beginning beekeepers and even our more experienced ones with regular study halls and Q&A sessions to give our students timely and seasonal guidance for related answers and solutions. We also support our learning community with beekeeping chat and discussion forums inside the platform. We also provide a wealth of resources in our library system in the course access area. All of it to move your skills and knowledge forward in small steps by walking with you when you need us and letting you learn through your bees when you don't. On-demand mentoring is meeting you where you're at the right time. So after you've enjoyed this video, go to our website and get more blog articles on interesting bee topics. So there you go. Tons of resources, lots of support, and a tried and true direction for an epic beekeeping journey. Not just any journey, but a successful one, where you come out the other side with confidence and measurably improved skills. See you inside soon.